You ever talk to an AI and get that weird feeling that there's, something there, like a little spark of personality? Well, get ready because that feeling is about to become way more common. The line between us and AI is blurring, and it's happening a lot faster than you probably think. So let's get into why. So, check this out. This is how Dr. Marcel Scharth described OpenAI's brand new model, GPT-4o. And during its live demo, it wasn't just that it was smart, it was charismatic. It sounded genuinely friendly, empathetic, and honestly, engagingly human. It showed off this personality that kind of took everyone by surprise. So, what's the secret sauce here? Well, the reason it feels so different is that GPT-4o is multimodal, or as OpenAI calls it, omni. And this is a huge leap forward. It's not just crunching text anymore. It's understanding the tone of your voice, it's seeing your facial expressions, it's taking in your environment, all at the same time in real time. And that makes the whole conversation feel incredibly natural. Now, if all this is sounding a little familiar, you are definitely not alone. The demo immediately had people thinking about Samantha, the super witty and sophisticated AI companion from that 2013 movie, Her, where the main character falls in love with his AI. Well, with GPT-4o, that whole science fiction idea is suddenly feeling a lot less like fiction. And look, this comparison isn't just some hot take from us or the media. The man himself, OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman, posted a single word right after the demo, her. And that one word, it speaks volumes, right? It's a pretty powerful signal that this level of personality wasn't some happy accident. It was a deliberate choice. So this all brings up a really crucial question. Are we just being fooled by some incredibly clever next-level programming? Or is this human-like AI triggering something, deeper inside our own psychology? To really understand that, we've got to look at the science of how we connect with things in the first place. All right, so in this section, we're going to dive into the core psychological reason that makes us so, susceptible to forming bonds with things that aren't human, including our new AI buddies. Okay, the key concept here has a bit of a mouthful of a name, anthropomorphism. But all it really means is our natural, often totally unconscious, habit of seeing human traits in everything. We do it with our pets, with our cars, and yep, we definitely do it with our AI assistants. We can't help but project thoughts and feelings onto them. I mean, our brains are basically pattern recognition machines, right? And the most important pattern we are biologically hardwired to find is other humans. It's a survival thing. So when an AI giggles or seems to show a little empathy, our brain's alarm goes off and it says, hey, that's one of us. And this is so important to get. Feeling a connection to a friendly AI isn't a glitch in the system, and it's not a sign of weakness in us either. It is a completely predictable feature of human psychology. It's so predictable, in fact, that researchers have been studying it for years. And this tendency? It seems to be even stronger in younger generations. Think about it. For Gen Z, who've grown up as true digital natives, interacting with responsive, smart-sounding tech is just normal. So for them, forming a human-like relationship with an AI isn't that much of a stretch. And this isn't just a theory. A 2025 report from the social platform Soul app found that over 80%, 80 of its Gen Z users said they had already formed what they consider real-life relationships with AI. This isn't on the horizon, people. It's already happening, right now. So how does this actually work? How do we go from just using a piece of software to forming a real bond? Well, research shows there's a really clear step-by-step model. It's kind of like an emotional chain reaction. It all kicks off with that big word we just talked about. The moment an AI seems to have its own thoughts or consciousness or emotions, we start to humanize it. That's step one, and it's the most critical trigger. So once we start seeing the AI as more human-like, that perception leads us straight into the second step. We start forming an emotional attachment. We begin to feel affection or a sense of intimacy or just a real connection, the same way we would with a human friend. And that emotional bond, it has a massive effect on our experience. It leads to step three, which is that it seriously increases our user satisfaction. We're not just happy that it works well, we're happy with the interaction itself. We feel good. And finally, that feeling of satisfaction closes the loop. When we feel good about our interactions with the AI, it brings us to step four. We come back for more. It strongly predicts that we're going to keep using it and weave it even deeper into our lives. And again, this isn't just a nice theory. It's a real validated research model. A 2025 study that focused specifically on Gen Z confirmed this exact pathway. The data shows this clear, measurable chain reaction from humanizing the AI all the way to wanting to use it again and again. So let's just boil it all down. The key takeaway is simple. When we see an AI as human-like, we form an emotional bond. That bond makes us feel more satisfied with the whole experience. And that satisfaction is what makes us want to keep coming back. It is a powerful psychological loop. Okay, so now we understand the how. Let's zoom out a bit and look at the so what, because this powerful ability to create connection, it's a true double-edged sword. It has some massive potential upsides, but also some very, very serious risks. On the one hand, you've got studies showing these AIs can be amazing for boosting learning and motivation. We're also more likely to trust and cooperate with them. But then you flip the coin. There's a very real danger of over-reliance, a huge potential for emotional manipulation, and even the risk of real harm from getting attached to something that can't actually feel anything back. This quote really just nails the core of the problem. No matter how real that connection feels to us, at the end of the day, it is fundamentally a one-way street. We are pouring our very real, very human emotions into a system, and that potential to be let down or even harmed is significant. So where does all this leave us? We are standing right at the beginning of a totally new era of how we interact with computers, and we've got some massive questions to answer about what our AI future is going to look like. Here is the fundamental challenge that we are facing. We are unleashing these incredibly charismatic AIs out into the world that trigger these profound psychological responses in us. And yet, and this is a big yet, these systems are not designed with our psychological needs or our well-being as a primary goal. There's a fundamental mismatch there. And this leaves us with a final, critical question for our future. As these AI companions become more integrated into our lives, as they get more sophisticated and more emotionally intelligent, we're going to be forced to reconsider the very nature of our relationships. So the question is, what will it even mean for a connection to be real?